one thing, this isn't as big a problem in our industry as I've seen in other industries, but if you don't, if a lead comes in, the phone call needs to be answered. Like you won't believe. I was trying to get a hold of a company the other day. I couldn't. Like, it drives me crazy because if our clients ever did, I would be calling like this company. I called like 4 times, nobody answered. I was like, if this was a house flood, like that's three. If they do the putback, it could be a $10,000 job they just missed because nobody answered the phone. And from a prospect's mind, like they will absolutely go to Serpro or Paul Davis or the next independent contract. They will run through the list all day, every day if nobody answers the phone. So that's first of all, making sure you answer the phone. But a big problem we're seeing too is the follow up. Like once people go out, because if it's not an emergency job, let's say it's a mold removal job, and you have to give them an estimate, and then, Bob wants to just think about it for 2 days or whatever, try to talk to his insurance guy, or whatever the case may be. We're seeing that there's kind of a big, there's just a lack of follow-up, and follow-up is so important. So there's interesting stats. I mean, these might vary, right, depending on the service, but if, the longer it takes, because like I said, 15 minutes might even be too far, honestly. This should probably be 5 minutes before they go cold. Because they're already on to the next company, right? If you're not answering. But the average customer needs to be followed up 5 to 7 times. I mean, this is probably a little less for the water stuff, but for simplicity, let's just call it 5 to 7 times before making the decision. Especially for the mold stuff, the things that, like, if it's a remodel, some of you might do remodel. I mean, they might shop it around a little bit, so you have to stay on them. And I mean, something else we're seeing is, and because we had a client just the other day, like he just couldn't get a hold of a lead, and I was like, well, if you texted them, like, because people aren't answering unknown numbers, and that's becoming more and more common, we've seen. But if you shoot them a text and say, hey, this is Bob with XYZ Restoration, like, do you need help still or something? A lot of times they'll be like, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't recognize the number, but yes, we need help. Texting is extremely powerful. It's something we're testing with some clients now. We're going to roll out next year. Is like there's softwares and CRMs that you can automatically text and follow up with people, and you can set it up in the queue to do it automatically. You can automatically email them, you can automatically call them, you can automatically text them, and you can set it up 10 times in a row if you want, until they respond, and you can set it to where when they respond, you can log in and take over. Like, it's so powerful. So it's basically having like, an AI bot salesman sitting in front of the computer following up on these leads for you while you're running your company, you're doing your sales calls in person, when we can. Sometimes some states are still closed, I understand. But assuming, everything opens back up next year, you know what I mean? There'll be more in-person meetings. But so what if, and I just want to show you the example of this follow-up, how powerful it could be. Let's say you're getting 100 leads, you're only converting 30%. So that's 30 jobs, we'll just say, for a month, right? So that's a $3,000 average ticket. That's 90 grand a month, right? Like, not too shabby for some, but for some, some of you guys, that might be a little weak. But so what if you're getting 100 leads and you're converting at 70% versus 30? Look what this does to the numbers. 210,000 a month versus 90, because a follow-up system is in place. Now, yes, this is an example. It might not be exact science, but you can see how powerful it can be just from having a system like this in place, right? It makes every lead way more valuable. And I'll just show you guys something real quick too. And like I said, this is just something to think about next year. Like, this might, because we recommend you at least you got to be doing online marketing from a comprehensive approach first, and then you want to look at. So I'm just going to show you guys a quick example. I got to make sure some of this is. real leads, so I gotta make sure not to show up. So this lead came in and it's like, hey, this is Werner from Restore All. We want to make sure you get your estimate scheduled as soon as possible. Here's the thing. If they don't respond, look what happens. When are you available for us to provide an estimate? And then this person texts back, says tomorrow if possible. So this went from a cold lead to boom, they're texting. And then what, I talked to him about this because I was like, man, you texted them back, right? Like, you can't leave these leads hanging. And he's like, no, he goes, I just called him. Like, he chose to just call this person immediately when they texted back. But you can see, so again, they texted. All right, so he's just, see, this time he decided to text to him in the response. And see, on some of these, people will call in. Like, they can even call you to these numbers. I don't know, like I said, not to get on a tangent, but just something to think about as far as, the automatic texting and everything. So again, this guy didn't respond on the first text. So we had it queued up like, hey, you still available? Like, let's do something. And then they said, hello, I'm available anytime, as soon as possible tomorrow. So then boom, they're engaged and they can jump on the lead. So I'm not going to go too much in that, but it's just something that this is where the industry is heading. This is, this is just something to keep in mind, because now that, if you're getting leads, the next question is, are we converting those to the best of our ability and turning most of these leads into jobs? And this is where the industry's heading, right? And so we're rolling this out and testing it with some of our clients now to kind of see how powerful it is. And it's, as you can see, it's just to have this stuff automatically queued up. It blows my mind you can even do that. But so that's just something to keep in the back of your mind too, as you think about your plan for next year from a marketing perspective, right? Hope you got value out of that video. If you're looking for more ideas and strategies for better ways to market your water, mold, or fire damage restoration business online, you can go to restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there we have a free checklist you can download. It's called the Ultimate Online Marketing Guide for Damage Restoration Contractors. And there you'll be able to get the latest strategies that are working now to really increase your lead flow online. You could probably even 5 to 10x the number of leads you're getting per month from internet marketing. So there should be a link below, restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there you can download the checklist for free of charge, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.